As of June 2023, you're going to have to move away from the current universal analytics system in Google Analytics and over to Google Analytics 4. Now, there's every chance that Google might push out this migration period, as time moves closer to that June cutoff date. But for now, plan that from June 2023, you're going to have to start using Google Analytics 4. Now, if you haven't already gone and set up a Google Analytics 4 property and installed it on your site via Tag Manager or however you install Analytics, go and do that now to start building up data. And if you have done so, you've probably noticed that Google Analytics 4 is not all that user-friendly. Universal Analytics, the current system, old Analytics, whatever you want to call it, isn't necessarily the most user-friendly thing in and of itself anyway, but it is vastly easier for the average small business owner or marketing person who's looking after smaller accounts, whatever you want to say, to actually check in and get meaningful reporting and insights. Google Analytics 4, if you look at the feedback online, generally sort of lower level users are very unhappy with the platform. Power users, those who do analytics professionally for a living, those who've got access to data teams and visualization software that plugs into it and so on, are often quite happy with Google Analytics 4 because they're typically got the time and the capacity to learn the ins and outs of the platform, or they've got the sort of technical capabilities and tools to actually take the data out of Google Analytics 4 and then report on it and visualize it better. And as far as a sort of data collection platform goes, Google Analytics 4 is superior to Universal Analytics, but the big issue is it's so unfriendly for the average user, for a business owner who just wants to check how their website's doing, for someone who's, say, doing a bit of digital marketing management for an employer or whatever the case may be. It is a lot harder to work with. And so what I want to do in this video is just say that you are going to have to move at some point unless Google changes their minds and decides Universal Analytics is going to stay for longer. What you can do to kind of make the process easier is think of Google Analytics 4 as really a data collection tool, and then you can actually report on it and visualize it and present it elsewhere. So Google has its own tool. It used to be called Data Studio. It's now called Looker Studio, which is a stupid name. I don't know why they call it that, but that's what it is. I'll leave a link in the video description, and you can take your Google Analytics 4 data and present it in Google Looker Studio, or Google Data Studio as many people still call it. And what that does is kind of gives you the best of both worlds. So you can capture the data in Analytics 4, which is going to have its sort of superior data collection capabilities and more modern data collection capabilities versus Universal Analytics. But then you can look at it and check charts like how your channels are performing, or how your page content is performing, or where people are coming from to get to your site. You can check all of that within your Google Looker Studio or Data Studio reports, and what you're going to be able to do there is actually have a nicer visualization experience than you ever could have had in Universal Analytics anyway, which tried to do a bit of both, the sort of data collection and presentation side. There is reporting within Google Analytics 4, but for the average users that I've spoken to, that's business owners doing their own analytics, in-house marketers running things for, say, smaller to medium businesses, generally 75–80% of the time not happy with the experience and the sort of functionality they're getting with Google Analytics 4 internal reporting. But once you take that data and you plug it into something like Google Looker Studio, or even you could use a third-party reporting tool. I use Slido, for example, which is relatively expensive if you start connecting a lot of data sources, but very, very easy to work with and build nice reports and dashboards. You just sort of unlock a whole additional level to visualization that makes it so much easier, so you can have the kind of reporting widgets that you might want to have or you've been used to having in Universal Analytics. You can build nice charts and graphs and tables and so on. So all is not lost with the move to Google Analytics 4. I'm the first to admit that it's a pretty rancid platform to use from an average user's perspective. From a power user's perspective, from an agency perspective, for bigger businesses with more resources to invest in analytics and reporting, yes, it has some clear advantages and greater capabilities and potential, but the kinds of clients and businesses that I tend to work with find it hard because they don't necessarily have all that much time and resource to invest in the analytics and reporting side. They've got so many other fires to fight. What I'm finding most successful and effective is to take that Analytics 4 data, not even worry about really visualizing anything within the platform itself, but go on Google Looker Studio or get a third-party reporting tool like Slido if you have some budget and you want something that's even easier to use, and then build out your reports in there. With Looker Studio or Data Studio, there are tons of great templates you can use, for example, that other agencies and freelancers and users have built, and you just pull your data across and you can get some fantastic reporting with relatively minimal effort that's going to give you the insights you need. You can then work on expanding your knowledge of the Looker Studio platform and build more complex reports like I've done for some clients. Or you could use something like Slido that once again has these great templates. There are tons of other reporting tools as well. Agency Analytics is another one I've used that's quite good. I'm not on any incentive to recommend either of these anyway. They're just both quite good tools, although you do have to pay to use them. So yeah, if you're sitting there thinking, oh, June's getting pretty close, I'm really not happy with how Google Analytics 4 works, it's a bit scary, what am I going to do in terms of actually understanding my business website performance and being able to kind of look at the data and compare date ranges and visualize performance? Don't get too worried. The good thing is, although the tracking methodology and process is changing with Google Analytics 4, you've got options to take that data, plug it into other applications like Google Data Studio or third-party reporting tools. Get actually better reporting that's easier to look at and understand and work with, and you're going to basically move to that next platform and have a much easier time of doing things. Now, if you've got any questions, please do let me know. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.